This week on Top Gear, I get to realise a schoolboy dream.
But we begin with an apology. Those of you who have tuned in to see a road test of the Bentley Continental will no doubt be disappointed to learn that just 2 days before we were due to film it, somebody turned it into a banana-shaped Bentley. Well, you can take heart for two reasons. First, you're not as disappointed as I am, and second, we've got something just as special. If I were to give you unlimited money, what car would you buy?
Ferrari, no doubt about it.
A red Ferrari.
Had to be a Ferrari, wouldn't it?
A red sports car. I think I would buy a Ferrari. Have to be a Ferrari, wouldn't it?
Odd, isn't it, that just about everyone in the world would chop off an important limb or two if it meant they could have a Ferrari. And yet the so-called experts, the people who write about cars like this in the motoring magazines, are forever telling us that you could never live with one on a day-to-day basis, that its fiery Latin temperament would be all too much after a while. Well, that may be the case with the F40, but what about the 348 here? It only costs a miserable £76,000. Surely you could live with one of these every day of the week. Well, there was only one way to find out, and yet again I had to sacrifice myself in the name of this programme. I had to drive around in this for a week. A lot of people ask these days why on earth you would spend all the extra money to buy a Ferrari when for a whole lot less you could have something like a Nissan 300 ZX. They'll tell you that it's every bit as fast, that it's just as striking, and that it's a whole lot easier to drive, and they're right. But a Nissan 300 is not a piece of motoring folklore. I'm going to go to a party tonight, and when I'm asked what sort of car I'm running around in at the moment, and I will be, I shall say a Ferrari. And I shall enjoy saying it almost as much as I enjoyed driving it. Time, and you've got to stick to orange juice, right? No, it's a 3.48. You see, that's got a 3.4 litre, 3.2 litre V8 engine. It didn't have a catalytic converter. Now mine, it's got a catalytic converter. The old one, the old 328, that never had a catalytic converter, so it means I can be green and fast.
So the lady looks fine, but unfortunately you're unsuitably dressed.
Oh. I thought a Ferrari was supposed to open doors. Didn't have much luck with that one.
In a morning, you'd probably expect a Ferrari to be harder to coax into life than Lazarus, or a nightclub bouncer. But with fuel injection, it's up and running the instant you turn the key. Turning the wheel is a deal harder, but once extricated from its overnight slot, I was off for another day of soaking up the admiring glances, snarling past people at 30 miles an hour in a car that can top 160. Daft? Yes, of course, but surely only as daft as buying a four-seater and then spending 90% of the time all on your own in it. You could certainly never accuse the 348 of wasting space. Now, I fit just fine, but Yuletide foliage, well, that's another story. Squeezing things into a Ferrari, then, is hard work. But squeezing the Ferrari through things is not as hard as you might imagine. The visibility's good, but from time to time I did wish other drivers would give it a wider berth. Mainly because if it had been damaged, someone would have come and taken it away. I'm not going to pretend that a Ferrari is easy to drive. This is not heavy, this is my clutch. Same goes for the steering, and the gearbox can be a bit recalcitrant first thing in the morning. So no, the Ferrari is a pain when you're in a traffic jam. But all cars are a pain when you're in a traffic jam. The difference is, in a Ferrari, you can at least dream of the day when absolutely nothing else would do.